So, Bill, I have some questions in related to SEO. So, do you think that SEO now is getting more competitive as compared to PPC? Means, so businesses like small businesses, they should focus more on SEO or PPC?
They should do a cost-benefit analysis and determine which may be better for them. There are points where if you do PPC, you may have to raise the cost of the goods or services you provide to cover your payment of PPC. If you do SEO and you have a strategy that's effective, you may not have to pay out as much on a monthly basis.
Okay. So, do you think that LSI keywords still affect SEO?
I don't think they ever affected SEO. There is a company that has made a product called LSI Keywords, which does not use LSI. It uses co-current, frequently appearing words that rank highly for certain terms and phrases, the way that Google, in their phrase-based indexing, and a white paper that came out last year about semantic topic modeling, says to use frequently occurring words that predict the presence of the keyword a page might appear for. So they're not keywords in that you're not trying to rank for them. They semantically make a difference to how well your page ranks, but they have nothing to do with LSI, which is a technology that was invented in 1989 before there was a web, to index small static enterprise databases. Like the example in the LSI patent from 1989 was a collection of 8 books, which is much smaller than the web. It also, LSI, if you use it as an indexing method and you add words to it, you add things to index, it needs to be run again. The web changes frequently. That would never work.
Okay. Nice. So, what are your favorite tools for doing keyword research?
Okay, this may seem like a cheat. It's not necessarily a tool. I like looking at search results in Google. I like seeing what type of intent is behind the top results. I started out as an in-house SEO for a company that did incorporation of businesses in Delaware, and we always found we did much better business ranking number 2 than ranking number 1, because we would rank behind the official Delaware government website, which was informational only and didn't provide transactions. So if people read that site first, they would see our site referenced in it, and they would be more likely to buy from us, and they did. So we did much better ranking number 2 than number 1.
Okay. Do you like Ahrefs or Majestic or SEMrush? That's a very tough question. If you say this, then
I'm not sure I can say that because I know people from some
Majestic,
of those.
Ahrefs,
Yeah. I'm not here to endorse a specific.
I know you're not endorsing. So, just your favorite keyword research tool here, right? What's
The one that I tend to use the most is probably Ahrefs.
Ahrefs? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's most of the times you are using this tool, right?
I tend to do a lot of site audits and things like that. I don't do too much keyword research. There are other people I work with who focus on keyword research.
Okay.
I help develop some of the strategy for keyword research, but I'm not doing much of that day to day.
Okay. Do you think that TLD extension matters in SEO ranking?
We've been told by Google spokespeople that it doesn't. It doesn't make a difference. I tend to believe them. In some cases, they have said things that if you're trying to optimize for a certain language, a TLD may be helpful when you're focusing on that language. But that seems to be the area where it makes a difference.
Okay, so that will be your. Okay, what was the biggest mistake you made in one of your SEO campaigns? So can you share your failure case study here right now?
I talked about this yesterday in my presentation.
Okay.
I was working for a website for the city of Baltimore, baltimore.org. It was a visitor center website. They wanted to rank well for certain keywords like Baltimore bars and Baltimore museums. And one of the phrases that they thought was important was to rank for Baltimore Black history. And we tried. We created a page where we used the phrase Black history and Baltimore Black history a number of times. There are too many other good websites that had interesting information people were visiting, and we couldn't rank better than 100th, 105, 110. So we tried a different approach. We said, okay, there are people who are well known who lived in Baltimore. There are colleges that were well known in Baltimore. There were churches in Baltimore that were well known. Let's write about those. Let's create a walking tour of Baltimore where people can explore places. There's a 9-foot tall statue of Billie Holiday, the singer, and people can walk up to it and see it and go to different places in Baltimore. There were 6 townhouses that Frederick Douglass purchased for a few $1,000,000 when he was in his 60s. And there are places you can visit now. So we included pages about these places people could see now and get an actual feel for and sense of the history of Baltimore. And it really made a difference how well that page did. That page started to rank for Baltimore Black history within a couple of years because so many people were using that page, referring the page to other people.
Okay.
And it was doing well for long-term searches for the people we write about, like Billie Holiday.
Okay. So do you think that no-follow links still matters in SEO 2019? Means what do you think that no-follow, do-follow, what kind of ratio we should have here?
Okay, there are no such thing as do-follow links. No-follow was something that Google and a couple of other search engines came up with as a way to reduce blog spam. WordPress would automatically make links in comments no-follow.
Yeah.
Okay, and they'd add the attribute. So the idea was, unfortunately, there are people who write do-follow lists on places like forums and blogs, and they include sites that stopped using do-follow plugins. I used a do-follow plugin for a while because I figured I appreciate the fact that people leave comments. I want to return the favor, and I want to reward them for linking to me and leaving a comment. And I was getting so many spammy comments, I finally gave up. I just said, I can't take this anymore. People were writing good site, and thank you for providing
nice comments, yeah.
Thank you for providing a place for us to leave comments and escorts.
Yes,
And,
I know.
I don't want a blog full of links to escort websites. Thank you. No.
So, okay, fine. So, how do you determine the effectiveness of SEO campaigns? What are your strategies here?
We often have different key performance indicators. It's one way to phrase that. You determine with your client what your goals might be. For instance, we had one client who's a jeweler, and They're a medium-sized jeweler. They compete with some jewelry stores that do lots of advertising on radio and television. They wanted more people to know their brand. So one of the guys I work with found a guy on Reddit who has a hydraulic press website. And what the guy does is crushes things with his hydraulic press, videos them, and gets lots of people to watch them. So we talked to our client about contributing a diamond to the hydraulic press guy for him to try to crush the diamond with his hydraulic press. They agreed to it. So we sent him a diamond, a little certificate saying it was a 1.2 carat diamond. He was all excited about it. Created a video, linked to our client, named them, and got 10 million views on YouTube.
So cute.
So that was a good brand awareness exercise.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So what kind of algorithm updates you are expecting from Google in 2019? What do you think that what will be the massive update they will be launching for spamming or?
It's a difficult question because we know that, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I do that
No problem.
It happens at
Yeah.
conferences. We know that Google does updates at the rate of like 2
Every
updates a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some of those changes are small things,
Yeah.
and some of them are big things. Like there's one they likely did where they used to treat words that were compound words differently when they were joined together. I had a client that rented data centers, and we saw that the word data center as one word got a certain number of clicks per month, about 800, and data center as 2 words, data center, got about 1,400 clicks per month. So we changed it from 1 word throughout the whole site to 2 words. Okay, that's not a huge change. It doesn't affect a lot of sites. It's not like Penguin or Panda or people weren't talking on Webmaster World about the compound word update.
Yes.
It wasn't on the Moz list of algorithm updates.
Okay, now there's a EAT update. So Google is every day they have a new terms for the updates, right?
We see somebody like Gary jokingly referring to an update as the Fred update because
Yeah,
he
Fred
supposedly calls everything Fred. Don't know. What might we see? We're seeing little things like people using structured data incorrectly.
Structured data, yeah.
And when they do that, they might be penalized by their rich snippets or rich results not appearing in search results anymore. But it's more like a manual penalty. And so they don't always name the penalties. We don't always talk about them as if they're a string of updates that has affected a lot of people. But they do try to monitor the use of those types of things. I noticed, I wanted to see how many digital agencies near where mine is located were using rich results to show how many reviews they'd received. And I found one that said it had 50 reviews. 50. So I went to the About page for the site to see if I could see a list of the reviews, because that's a fair amount. I found 3. They're schema markup said there were 50. There weren't 50.
And you find it only 3.
I found only 3. So I don't know if Google's penalized them yet for that, but I expected them to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one last question. How's your experience at SMXL right now in Milan? So did you like the show?
I liked it. It's my first chance to visit Italy.
Same here.
So my great-grandmother was from Italy, and she immigrated to the United States. She grew up in a town about an hour drive from here. So once the show is over, I'm going to see if I can go visit the town and see where she grew up.
Okay, wow. That's nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Bill, for sharing your journey with my readers and sharing a lot of great insights on SEO. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.